All right. Not putting the same enthusiasm into the intro as I just did because I just went through 5 minutes of this video without hitting record. So that's really cool. But the Giants beat the Seattle Seahawks. We beat the Seattle Seahawks. The MVP Russell Wilson led Seahawks, the DK Metcalf having Seahawks. Jamal Adams tearing up every offense he's played against Seahawks. Nope, not today. Sorry, bud. Colt McCoy was too much for you. Wayne Gallman, Alfred Morris. Those guys were too much. They were too much to handle. For the third best rushing defense in the league, those guys were too much? Yeah, they were. Yes, they were. There are plenty of things that I'm going to talk about today. The offense is not going to be a good part about it. I understand we had Colt McCoy, and that limited the play calling that we could have, but they Colt really just exploited all the problems with this offense, Jason Garrett's offense in particular. But I don't want to dwell on the negatives. I want to talk about what may have been the greatest defensive performance that I've seen in my entire life. The New York Giants, with no real stud players, no player who jumps off the screen at you and goes, "Wow, that's an all pro." We don't have any Hall of Famers on this defense. Maybe we do. Maybe we will in the future, but I don't know what Patrick Graham is doing to get this group to play like this, but oh my God, is it working? We held the Seahawks to 10 offensive points. Coming in, they were the number one scoring offense in the league. The Seattle Seahawks were number one. They scored 10 against this Giants defense, led by Jabril Peppers. Oh my God, I love him so much. He's my favorite player on the team, by far. My favorite player. He was doing Jamal Adams things yesterday better than Jamal Adams was doing them. Jamal Adams, yeah, you might get a sack where you're lined up as an edge rusher and you knock down Dion Lewis to get a sack. Peppers is going to one up you. He's going to run straight through the middle. He's going to run over your fullback and your running back, who are way bigger than Dion Lewis. And he's not just going to roll Russell Wilson to the ground like he did with Colt McCoy. He's going to bury him. He's going to bury him. Jabril Peppers was the best player of the game yesterday, by far. Never really saw him out of place. If you want to consider that touchdown to Chris Carson out of place, fine. I just think that was a better offensive call for once in this game. Didn't have a ton of them. Betcher didn't allow it. I think the theme of this offseason should not be to get new players, should not be the draft, shouldn't be any of that. It should be putting as much money into James Betcher as humanly possible, giving him as much money as humanly possible. Hand him a check, hand him a pen. Tell him you can write whatever number you want on here, and we'll keep you around. Do not let this man leave this organization. He is far too good. Far too good. Joe Judge is the next player I'd like to talk about. And I went back yesterday and I watched Colin Cowherd. I watched his immediate reaction to the Daniel Jones hire. And I'll be honest, I was ignorant. I didn't have the greatest reaction either. I'm not paid to be on TV, though. Everything he said in that video was absolutely wrong. how it's a young team. Players aren't going to buy into this crap, this weird stuff that you have them doing, like the tennis balls on the hands and running at practice with coaches. God forbid you make a player run for messing up. Colin, I want to hear your apology at the end of the season. I want to hear it. I want your apology. I want an apology to Joe Judge. I want an apology to this organization. I don't care if we don't even make the playoffs. Colin, I just want an apology from you. And that's a lie. Of course, I hope if we make the playoffs, but regardless, um, Colin, I'll be expecting your apology on YouTube soon enough, and it's fine. I forgive you. Just make the apology because currently, New York Giants might have the third, second best coach in the NFL. Let's look at what Joe Judge had to overcome to put us in this position right now of being the Seattle Seahawks. No offseason, no training camp, completely new team. Had to hire all new guys. They completely cleaned house. They didn't keep a single guy from the Shermer and McAdoo era. Not a single one. Came and hired all those guys on a short off season, and he has them playing like champions. He has these guys playing like all pros and pro bowlers, at least on the defensive side. He has them playing phenomenal because they bought in. They bought in. I guess all those weird tactics that nobody thought would work are working. I guess they're working. And that's why I expect the Giants to I don't want to say something to jinx it later on. Honestly, I don't care because I have too much trust in this coaching staff and these players to let me down. Giants are going to win out. Giants are going to win. They're going to win against the Cardinals. They're going to win against the Browns. They're going to win against the Ravens, and they're going to win against the Cowboys. Giants are going to finish 9-7. They're going to finish winners because that's what they are. They are winners. They are a winning football team. At least that's what they've shown me right now. And yes, obviously, I'm getting ahead of myself. I understand this is not the most talented team in the world in terms of personnel. But I don't care. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me. We're getting DJ back next week. Daniel Jones. I never thought for a second in my life that I would miss Daniel Jones during a game. This team is scary. Legitimately scary. They are a great team. We beat the Seahawks 17-12. We needed 17 points to beat the Seahawks. 10 of their points came from offense because we had a blocked punt. The Seahawks scored 10 points. 10! One of them came on the first drive in the first quarter. The other one came in the fourth quarter. That means for almost 3 complete quarters, the Seahawks were shut out. How is nobody freaking out about this right now? Do you know how good you have to be to shut out Russell Wilson? You have to be phenomenally good. Like all-time great defense kind of good. Nobody on the defense was out of place yesterday besides the one play, besides the touchdown play. You have dudes coming in 7th, 5th round picks, 6th round picks, 7th round picks, undrafted free agents, making, not just filling roles, making impact plays. Carter Coughlin, where did you come from? You're playing like you got picked with, I don't know, top 5 pick coming out of Minnesota. chasing down Russell Wilson outside of the pocket, making your presence felt. Cam Brown. Oh my God. Longest arms in the draft. You were phenomenal, sir. Saving a tackle to the outside against Chris Carson. Another phenomenal player. Nico Lelos just can't get away from turnovers. He can't get himself away from them. He just sees a turnover. Oh my God, I got to go get that. I got to get that right now. LeBron, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for tweeting about this, man. Thank you for blessing us with your all-time great powers. Thank you. This team is legitimately dangerous. This team is good, at least on the defensive side. And if Garrett can learn to just, I don't know, throw the ball more than 15 yards on any given play, we might start winning games. What am I saying? We're winning games, winning more games. We'll start winning more games by greater majorities, greater number of points. And that's exactly what I want to get into right now, because as good as Wayne Gallman and Alfred Morris were, this offense was quite limited. You could say that that is a product of having Colt McCoy as your quarterback, which honestly I understand. He threw like he was 60. He threw like he was throwing a backyard football, but it didn't matter, so we won. Didn't matter at all. But we need to start spreading the ball out more. Whenever I watch, Slayton was always either being pressed or open off the press. They were stacking the box. They had 8 guys, 9 guys in the box at times. How are you not going to throw it? How are you not going to throw it deep? You're facing 8-man boxes. Googe, congrats to you, man. You ran for 200 total offensive yards. You ran for 200 yards against 8-man fronts all day against the 3rd best rushing defense in the league. It's pretty good, man. This offensive line is coming together. Andrew Thomas and Shane Lemieux are looking very good. I know Shane Lemieux gave up the sack yesterday. That was his only bad play. I'm telling you right now, that was his only bad play. Andrew Thomas, flawless. Flawless. For the 2nd week in a row. Flawless. Perfect game. Couldn't ask for anything better. Nick Gates, keep doing what you're doing. Keep laying people out, please. Kevin Zeitler, you're pretty good all game, kind of. Cam Fleming, I don't care for you currently, but good job. You gave up a sack, but it's whatever. Matt Pert convinced his coaching staff to put you in because you're a lot better than Cam Fleming. You're a lot better. And also, in terms of people not getting in, can we see Xavier McKinney, please? Just let us see him make a play. I don't care what it is. Just let him make a play. Anyway, sorry. I want to see Xavier McKinney really bad. I think he was only in on like 6 plays. Offense. Wide receivers, you do what you could do. You did what you could do. There wasn't much you could do. You made it work. Evan Ingram. Still don't know how to feel about you, man. You make the hardest catches humanly possible, and then you drop the one, you just drop wide open passes. I don't know how you do it. You've led to so many turnovers for this team. You've also put us in positions to score. I don't know what to do with you, man. You're too much of an athlete for us to get rid of, so we have to keep you. Please just catch the ball when it's thrown to you, especially, and if you're gonna drop it, make sure it just goes straight to the ground, man. Don't volleyball it in the air. And I understand Colt McCoy should have put the ball lower and to the left, or lower and to the right, wherever. Dude, just knock it down. If you can't catch it, just knock it down. Of course, not thinking that at the moment. I'm on my couch. I'm not a professional athlete. I'm talking to a professional athlete like I know what I'm doing. I don't. It's definitely not that easy. But dude, stop, because you're giving me a heart attack every week. You make my head spin with some of the catches you make and some of the catches you don't make. I love you. You've been one of my favorite Giants since you got drafted. You are a phenomenal tight end when you want to be. It doesn't seem like you want to be all the time. But I think we've just come to accept that Ingram is going to take the top off of defense for most of the game and then cause a turnover. It's whatever. It's whatever. Evan Ingram is the new Daniel Jones in terms of turnovers. The thing that we need to address, obviously, in the offseason is Jason Garrett. Because as good as this defense has been, the offense sometimes trails behind. Recently hasn't been a problem. So I'm not gonna critique them on that. I don't even know if they scored 30 points all year. I honestly don't. I don't remember if they have. Ugh. I'll go back and check the scores. They probably have at one point or another, but we're just not that high powered of an offense, which is why I would love a Jamar Chase in the draft, possibly. Um, who's the other guy? Waddle. He'd be dope. He'd be cool to have. Um, I'm still a little bit in disbelief that we beat the Seahawks. I'll be honest. It's probably going to take a few more days for it to set in. Because it was just such an improbable task. Every announcer picked the Seahawks, and honestly, I don't blame them. I didn't think the Giants were going to win this game. I don't know if you can hear the thing my dad's listening to in the background. Sorry, it's very loud. Um, Coming in with Colt McCoy, no starting quarterback, no starting running back against the Seahawks, who admittedly aren't a great defense, but top three run defense, against the number one scoring offense in the league. You would think that they were going to get smothered. And honestly, it turned out the other way around. Giants defense finally got to a quarterback, a good quarterback. They made him think before every throw. They made him question where he was going to go with the ball. And I love to see it. This has been Robert with the Hash Time Sports Podcast. And I will see you guys next week. Sorry if anyone even cares that I haven't been uploading. I've been doing a lot of college stuff. Um, it is what it is. I try to make these videos as much as possible, and I've gotten all my college stuff out of the way, so hopefully I can start just getting these videos out more. I'm getting a new computer, so hopefully I'll be able to edit videos a lot better, make different kinds of videos, because right now my computer can barely handle OBS. Um, so I'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, this team is good. Joe Judge is good. Patrick Graham is good. Life is good. See you guys.